Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2023 IFBB Pro League Musclecontest Vietnam Pro Bikini results. First recap of the 2024 Olympia qualification season, and it did not disappoint. What a beautiful top 5. And I've got my own vlog post coming your way 2 weeks out to the Olympia Amateur Bikini Contest. I can't believe how quickly it's coming. I've also got a prediction video coming your way with all of my picks for all the female divisions: figure, fitness, wellness, bikini, women's physique, and women's bodybuilding. And of course, there were more shows this weekend, so more recaps to come. Okay, so in terms of Olympia 2024, I'm not certain that the rules are the same. We have to wait for them to release that. But presuming that the rules are the same, it will be this year's top 3 who are automatically qualified, and then the winner of each contest throughout the season who also gets to go. So looking at the scorecard, in first place was Zeni, second Nitea, third Heather, fourth Wu, and fifth Jill. And the scores were pretty even all the way across. Looks like Jill was pretty close to the second place winner, but overall the top 5 was fairly stable. Okay, here's Jill in 5th place. So beautiful. I love the suit color, her lipstick, her dark hair. The color of her tan looks gorgeous. Her skin looks so smooth. It's just beautiful. I think she's got some really good conditioning coming through on her legs. You've got some quad definition, great shape to her glute, nice small waist. I do think, though, that she could pose a little bit differently. I think she could try standing with her belly button a bit more to the side and twisting more in the shoulders just to make her waist look smaller. I think when we get to the lineup photos, you'll see that she's a little bit more forward facing than the rest, who are more sideways and just come across as being a tiny bit more teeny in the waist, even though clearly she has a very small midsection. She's got beautiful lats. I do think she could have a little bit more conditioning to show off the delts, maybe even just a little bit more size and shape to really pull out the roundness. But overall, I think she's got a really beautiful silhouette, and it was a nice 5th place for her. Next in 4th is Wu. Beautiful glute. Wow, really nice round size, very large, full, curves all the way from delts to the tip of the glute. Beautiful. She's got a really small waistline, and I think she's accentuating it well with how twisted she is in her pose. I'm not crazy about the hand being over top of her belly button. I would certainly move the hand more backwards just to show off more of the abs and the six-pack definition. I would also honestly move this foot a little bit more forward. I think you have a nice view of her back leg, but from a balance perspective, I'd like to see a little bit more of that horizontal space filled out in her lower body, just so that there's more of this fullness and curve. But looking at the shape of her actual body, beautiful, really nice curve to her back. I think she's got some good size in her upper body. The lats look beautiful. Love this groove here in her hip. She's got a nice quad sweep, good size. I do think she could have a little bit more definition coming through on the delts, just a tiny bit. Just maybe even a bit more gloss just to really highlight those. And certainly hair off of this shoulder so that we can see both shoulders. But overall, beautiful shape, beautiful suit. The blue is a very pretty color on her, and she looks lovely. Next in 3rd place is Heather. Gorgeous legs. I noticed her calf muscle. I'm not certain she's fully in her pose here in this photo, but even so, I do find her to look a little bit squished, like she's kind of shrugging this back shoulder. She's not really pulling up the chest, pulling open both of the delts. So I would certainly work on that, bringing up this hand, really puffing up the chest and opening up the upper body. I think that would really make her silhouette more of that hourglass shape. It would pull out her delts. She has a beautiful round shape, but we're kind of losing some of that fullness and roundness in the way that she's posing. I also think from a conditioning standpoint, we've got some really great lines in her legs. The quads look beautiful, a bit of detail down by the kneecap, but she could try to make her waist look a little bit smaller, a little bit more flatness to this lower part of her stomach, just to really tighten up and compare with the top girls. But overall, I love the suit color. I think her hair looks nice. I like that she has it behind her ear. It's very sleek. Her tan is gorgeous. She looks really stunning. Just a few tweaks to the posing. Even this hand could come up a little bit higher. Okay, next is Natea in second place. All right, posing is perfect. So her belly button is really sideways, so her waist looks so small. You get a great shot of her profile of the glute and the hamstrings and the quads. Just a really good look at the upper part of her leg. Unreal. Really nice curve, nice fullness to the lats, and very well-defined delts, and very full and round. So you get just this gorgeous shape. She's pulled up her chest, pulled up the shoulders. I wish that the hair was off so that we could see the back delt a little bit more. But you can see she's posing with her elbow nice and high, so it draws your eyes up towards that hourglass shape. Beautiful curves in the legs. She's got nice definition in this front leg and the hip here in particular. A little bit more of that softness in the back leg, so you really notice the curves and the size of her muscles. I think that more royal blue is gorgeous on her. It's very like a deep blue, and it's a great color, and her tan looks gorgeous. Gloss in all the right spots. I notice her obliques, I notice her hips, I notice her delts. I think she looks absolutely amazing. All right, and now in first place is Zeni. Beautiful. She just looks pretty and lovely. There's a softness about her. Her posing isn't exaggerated. She looks very natural and gorgeous. Beautiful size in her legs. I think she's also got a really nice curve to the delt. It's definitely something you notice on her physique, is just that beautiful roundness, and it matches so nicely the roundness of her glute. I think her conditioning is really lovely. She's got some nice lines coming in this front leg, a little bit in the back, a bit more softness than some of the other competitors, but still some definition down by the kneecap. Very flat, smooth midsection with really a nice amount of ab definition coming through. It's not a full six-pack, but you do see some lines. And I think she's posing very nicely as well. You have this very level shoulder and collarbone, and you notice her shape. I would try to not bend the wrist. I think if I were her, I would pull the wrist up. I'm fine with where her hand is, but I wouldn't make the arm come down and then back up to her body. I would try to keep this more of a straight line, like just make the wrist more firm. I don't know why that caught my eye, but it is something that I'm noticing, and I feel like that might just make her look a tiny bit more polished. That's it. That's really the only thing I can think of. I think she looks great. Really beautiful. Maybe a little bit more roundness and fullness to the delt in the back arm somehow, but overall, stunning. Okay, here's the top 5. Everybody looks beautiful, but I am drawn to first and second place because of their posing. I think their shoulders are open, their waists look really small, and you're getting a good look at the legs. Wu in fourth place also is posing really well. I think her waistline looks extremely small, but somehow to me her arm is almost pulling her down, even though her shoulders look level. Maybe it's the fit of the suit, I'm not sure, but I feel like this shoulder could be a little bit more up and back. Heather, I still think could use a little bit more flatness to her midsection, a little more roundness on the top of her glute here. Jill, I think, looks great in the glutes, but yes, the midsection could try to be a little smaller by being more twisted to the side. So again, I think that first and second place really nailed the pose. Very eye-catching silhouettes. Now from behind, this is where I think Zeni pulls out the first place. I think her delts are really well highlighted by the cut of her hair. You see this triangle shape coming through from the smallness of her waist out. I think Natea, her hair is too wide and it's losing that shape in the upper body. Same with Wu. Just a little bit too much coverage of the upper back. I think Zeni has it perfect. You see this little bit of a triangle shape coming through and it just draws your eye to that V taper. Heather, love the hair. I think that looks really good. You're seeing a little bit of the delt, a little bit of the back, and the smallness in the waist. Jill, I know this is a very pixelated photo. It's the only one I could find of her back pose. Now, in terms of first and second, I do think that Zeni's tie-ins are a little bit sharper. You see the lines both on the outside and the inside. Whereas Natea has just a tiny bit more softness. You see this inner line very well, but the outer line is not quite as sharp. And I think those lines combined with how well you see that hourglass triangle shape is really what catapulted Zeni into first. When you scan across the lineup, she stands out for that overall shape. Wu, beautiful size. I think she's got some nice curves in the legs, but I do find that the width of her glutes is more dominant than the curve on the top. I think Heather needed a little bit more definition for the lines to be sharp. And Jill, it's impossible to comment on this picture. It's a little bit too blurry, but I would think that maybe a little bit more of the lines coming through. Would have to see a better picture. So I believe this means Zeni is qualified for the Bikini Olympia 2024. So there are more shows coming up this weekend. Lots of videos coming your way. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.